All right, we are live. Let's see if anybody comes in here. Is that better, y'all? That's better? What do we think? Yep, better? Okay. Let me I gotta do a couple things here. We did it! All right, I gotta do a couple things here. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. All right, better, way better. Okay, cool. All right, let me update. Okay. All right, guys, I think we are ready to go. The only thing that's going to suck is I shared this on Reddit, and those links will be bad, but you know what? Who cares? Because Reddit hates me anyway. Oh, look at this guy. There you go, guys. How about this guy in the comments, please? I'm a clown. Get on with the video. Listen, dude. Honestly, let's get rid of this guy right here, mods. He says that every time he comes in. Right here, MacArthur Lusant. I'm the clown, dude. What are you doing? God, I hate comments like this. Yeah, block this guy, mods. Please get rid of him. Thank you. Look, guys, I work really hard to put this stuff up. Sometimes people make mistakes, right? But calling a clown, I mean, what does that person get out of it? Right? Are they sitting at home going, win? It honestly blows my mind what people do with their time and with their life and with the energy. You only get so much time on this earth. So anyway, let's move past that guy, and let's get to the good stuff. Again, we are going to be covering the Roswell crash. Okay, there's some new information. You've seen the title and the thumbnail here from Dr. Hal Putoff. And we're going to do a UFO video and something that Jeremy Corbell said that is mind-blowing. Yeah, we're still waiting for a lot of people to come in on the live, y'all. We had over 400, and see, this sucks. Now I apologize for screwing that up, y'all. Honestly, I didn't do anything. I don't even know what. I just jumped in and did as I always do. But regardless, okay, let's just get this going. I think everyone's waited enough. All right, here we go. All right, get ready. All right, so before we start, I'm going to play this little video for y'all. Okay, from Hal Putoff. Just to give you an idea, if you're not familiar with who he is.
Hal Putoff. I'm a physicist. I'm also director of the Institute for Advanced Studies at Austin. And basically, we do forefront research on energy and propulsion for spaceflight. Well, as a physicist, I've always, in fact, starting as a kid, I've always been interested in the actual forefront of physics. And so I've been always involved in looking at ideas that were, right at the edge. And along the way, I ended up getting interested in space flight, followed the space program in great detail, my ex-CIA contract monitor, Kit Green, told me about Tom and what he was doing, and said he thought I should meet him because Tom was really exploring new areas right at the edge of research, and that since that was my interest level, it would make a good combination.
So that's Hal Putoff, right? I think we all know who Hal Putoff is. Now let's get to the good stuff. All right, so this is an excerpt from Luis Elizondo's new book coming out called Imminent. And as you know, I made a video about it. There was a Google book preview put out with some of his book. It was taken down, but this stuff is just, the reason I'm sharing this is because it's being shared, pardon me, all over Twitter. So I figure, well, it's already out there. So let's look at this. But I found this quite interesting, right? Just when you think Roswell, whatever, new stuff comes out. And I don't know if it's necessarily new, but it's new information to us, but it's something that's been discussed apparently for decades, right? So again, this is an excerpt from Luis Elizondo's book, all right? And he's talking about a meeting he's going to have with Hal Putoff, right? It says, I don't recall how my first UAP history lesson in a skiff with Hal began, but I remember Hal tossing off the most enticing one-liner I'd ever heard. Again, this is Luis Elizondo speaking. Well, it all goes back to Roswell in 1947. That's Hal Putoff speaking. Wait, Roswell was real? I asked. That's Luis Elizondo, right? Hal looked at me, clearly weighing whether to bring me further into his circle of trust. Yes, Lou, it was real. You mean to tell me that a UAP actually crashed and we covered it up? That's exactly what happened, he replied. I went quiet and let his words sink in. Hal went on to tell me something else that truly blew my mind. 4 deceased non-human bodies were in fact recovered from the 1947 Roswell crash. Let me repeat that. 4 deceased non-human bodies were in fact recovered from the 1947 Roswell crash. After processing that, I fired off a slew of questions. In head, out mouth. Have we recovered non-human bodies from other UAP crashes? He looked at me as if debating how to answer. It was clear to me he wasn't ready to tell me the answer. I was still the new guy. We'll tell you more soon enough, he said. Is every incoming president told the truth? No. I also, in some other parts of Lou's book that I don't have here, that he also mentions that the Roswell crash was potentially this, craft was flying around checking on, the atomic bombs we were working on, right? And supposedly one near the test ranges, they set off like an electromagnetic pulse, an EMP. And that is the theory, the leading theory, according to Luis Elizondo, of why the Roswell crash happened. So an EMP went off and the craft crashed. But I don't know. I find that interesting because I didn't think they ran off electricity. Not in the same way we think, but who knows? Regardless, right? So that's the theory. An EMP went off while the crafts were potentially looking into our atomic situation, and the craft crashed, and we recovered 4 deceased non-human bodies. All right. Now, again, what other things have we heard about Roswell? Well, we've heard when I interviewed Danny Sheehan, he talked about a helmet that they had that controlled the craft. So one of these bodies must have had a head on it, or a helmet, right? Or they all did, I guess. Why wouldn't they recover 4 helmets? Is it only one needed? So the one pilot has a helmet? And if they're telepathic, why do they need a helmet to communicate with the craft? I don't know. Seems interesting, but who knows? Um, I've also heard that there's live beings that were recovered at Roswell, but they don't mention this, right? So there is a lot of stuff about Roswell, different pieces that potentially people have, how many crashes there were, how many craft there were, right? Some people say that both crash sites are just from one craft. It bounced, right? That's one crash site. Boom, it bounces off the ground, goes up, and then comes down again. That's the second crash site. But other people say, no, there's two crashes, maybe two bodies in each. Or if there's four in the one craft, so are these four-seaters? Right? It's like basically like their version of a Toyota Corolla, apparently. I don't know. Was there room for more? I don't know. But this is interesting because according to Hal Putoff in Luis Elizondo's book, which is coming out here at August 20th, right, less than a month out, that is going to spread like wildfire, that story, right, about Roswell and confirming 4 bodies. That to me is more exciting than the actual UFO, if I'm being honest, right? Because the UFO is still just a craft, but the bodies are absolute proof, right? And that's interesting. So will we ever get to see these bodies? Was there photos, analysis taken? I don't know. Did they die because of the crash? Right. It seems interesting that they wouldn't have some sort of mechanism to protect themselves within. I mean, we have airbags now in cars that can protect people pretty well off. And our fighter pilots they can, I don't know what the term is, but they can eject from the plane if there's an issue. So, these aliens flying around, EMP goes off, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're crashing, guys. I don't know what's happening." And they don't seatbelt up or so. I don't know what's the process like there, but that's interesting, right? See, those are all the details I want to know. Who doesn't? But this, I don't know. What do y'all think? Is that confirmed? And why do some of the stories about Roswell not match up? Is this the one to really follow? I have to admit, I've always thought something was intriguing about Roswell. Who hasn't? It has to be the most famous UFO crash in the world, right? Roswell, New Mexico. And there was a blatant cover-up. That there's no question of. The only discrepancy is what they were covering up, right? And later on, the government admitted, no, we were testing these mannequins or some other thing. They talking about some balloons and that sort of thing, right? Crash test dummies, right? But what was the first headline? Flying saucer, right? So all that's interesting. That whole story, all the context about Roswell is fascinating. They found some material that would crumple up, and when you let go of it, it would go immediately back to its original shape and form, right? And that's interesting. And why does New Mexico have so many other crashes besides Roswell? Right? That's where famously Tim Taylor and Diana Pasulka and Dr. Gary Nolan went. Right? Out there in New Mexico, but now Roswell. So I don't know. It's very interesting. Very interesting. So we play one more clip here. Y'all are going to want to see. Now, this video is about Merrick right here on the far right, sitting with George Knapp in the middle and Jeremy Corbell on the left here. Now, Merrick went on Weaponized to talk about the 3 UFO videos that had been released back in 2017, right? The Gimbal, Go Fast, and oh gosh, I can't think of the other one. Anyway, he had an interview with Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick where they went over the analysis, of said, videos and this, that, and the other. And there's a whole thing there. No problem. Absolutely. Go check that out. But what I find interesting is, hang on. What I find interesting All right, what I find interesting is what was said here at the end of the interview. So pay attention, listen closely, and see if you hear it.
A big picture, just stepping back, I don't know what this UFO thing is. George and I have been down this path, George, for a long time. We don't really know what this UFO thing is, but we do know that it is real, and we do know that it is covered up, and we do know that there's special interest that unfortunately will attack people who are raising their head above the parapet on this, from journalists to whistleblowers. And it puts us in a weird position because, look, there are people with direct firsthand knowledge of these programs, maybe even actively participating right now. There is footage of crash retrievals. That footage exists, but bringing people forward, that they have to be motivated to do so. Good of America, good of humanity, I don't know. But the only way they can do that is if they see that people are protected, that whistleblowers who do bring their head above the parapet are taken care of, that they're not harmed unnecessarily further.
Did you hear it? He said, there is footage of crash retrievals, right? Let's go back and hear that again.
Forward, that they have to be not participating right now, whistleblowers. And it puts us in a weird, that there's special interest. We really know what this UFO thing is, but we do know that it is real, and we do know that it is covered up, and we do know that there's special interest that unfortunately will attack people who are raising their head above the parapet on this, from journalists. A big picture, just stepping back, I don't know what this UFO thing is. George and I have been down this path, George, for a long time. We don't really know what this UFO thing is, but we do know that it is real, and we do know that it is covered up, and we do know that there's special interest that unfortunately will attack people who are raising their head above the parapet on this, from journalists to whistleblowers. And it puts us in a weird position because, look, there are people with direct firsthand knowledge of these programs, maybe even actively participating right now. There is footage of crash retrievals. That footage exists, but
there is footage of crash retrieval. That footage exists. I mean, let's go. We've heard about UFO videos, but not video footage of crash retrievals. So like a documentary style, right? Think this is Spinal Tap, but this is a crash retrieval, right? Can you imagine that kind of documentary? I don't know, right? What kind of footage of the crash retrieval? The whole scenario, one part of it, that's interesting. That footage exists. He didn't say maybe. He said it does exist. Now, what I did find interesting too about this clip was that he said there are people in these programs, right? And they may be actively working in them. So he doesn't know if the people he's speaking to, I guess, are actively in the programs or were once in the programs. That's interesting. I don't know if he means everybody or just some people, right? Let's watch that again. Did you catch that?
We do know that it is real, and we do know that it is covered up, and we do know that there's special interest that unfortunately will attack people who are raising their head above the parapet on this, from journalists to whistleblowers. And it puts us in a weird position because, look, there are people with direct firsthand knowledge of these programs, maybe even actively participating right now. There is footage of crash retrievals. That
maybe actively participating right now, right?
Footage exists.
That footage exists. I love that quote. So what do we think? Right? Jeremy Corbell is stating that there is footage of crash retrievals. Again, not of a crash, not of a UFO in the sky, something, but the actual retrieval itself, which is fascinating. If you remember on my interview with Danny Sheehan, please go check it out, my latest one, if you haven't already. Danny, in that interview, goes over exactly how they retrieve the craft, because I asked, logistically, how do they do that? What do they do this? They throw them on an 18-wheeler? And he was like, yeah, they throw them on an 18-wheeler, right? They set up, they get in hazmat suits, they cordon off the area and get it onto the truck. But my question would be, how are they getting it onto the 18-wheeler? Because you're going to need another piece of equipment to pick this up and get it on there. So you're going to need some sort of a lift that can handle that kind of weight, which means you would need 2 18-wheelers, one carrying, the whatever thing you get, heavy piece of machinery you get off to then pick that up, because that's not going to be driving down the road by itself. And then the other 18-wheeler to carry it. Right. But I just think, how wide are these 18-wheelers? It must be sticking out both sides. Is this like a mobile home going down the highway? You ever seen those where the mobile homes go down and they take up like 5 lanes? They got all these multiple cars around it. If you've ever been out in the desert and seen military driving around and they're taking around these big pieces of equipment, that's kind of how they do it. They have vehicles at the front, vehicles at the back, and they're going. So I don't know. But when I hear these things, those are the questions I have, because I try to imagine it. And when you try to imagine it, you got to fill in the blanks. So you need actual details, logistics, right? How this is actually working. So I don't know. And what kind of equipment did they have back in the 40s to do this, right? Was Roswell the first one and protocol was set up around that? And why did Roswell crash and break up into a million pieces? But other crash just, craft or donated or whatever the case may be. Or in some instances, depending on who you talk to, we shoot them down. Right. So I don't know. But I do find it interesting. Right. And if this footage exists, I wonder if Jeremy Corbell can give us more details. How long is the footage? Are there multiple videos? From what crashes? Right? Are there multiple angles? Was this edited together? Is this just like the legacy program photographer, doing it, or like what? You see what I'm saying? What logistically? What kind of footage of crash retrievals? Is it film, digital, only photos? If you say footage, I think video. Right? Moving pictures. So I don't know. How many? Who's seen them? How do they know it exists? Because they've seen them, or they were told it exists. These are all relevant questions. Right? Find it interesting. All right. I'm going to get to some questions and comments here in just a second. But before I do that, I'm going to show y'all an interesting video. UFO video. It's 3 minutes. And you guys can tell me what you think. All right, y'all can see the video here. All right, let's go. It's got sound. Let's go.
All right. Whoa, look at those guys. What in the fuck? Oh my God. Holy shit, dude. Oh my God. Dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh my God. Dude. I need to get my other camera. All right. Holy shit, dude. All right. We're getting the other camera. Hold on 1 second. Holy shit. All right. Fuck. All right, we're going to try and place this thingamabobber here. All right.
Thingamabobber.
All right,
Gotta
I'm going to set that down.
love it. What's interesting is those lights are not moving.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Dude, this thing's dead. You gotta be kidding me, dude. What in the fuck? Seriously?
Problem is he's shooting through his windshield.
This thing's out of batteries.
He needs to get out of the car.
You gotta be shitting me right now. What in the fuck? All right. Well, my other camera's out of batteries. That's really shitty. And this infrared, I can't quite get it. There's a train going by there. I can't get it like focused enough. But these things are just sitting here right now. And they look brighter because of the infrared, but if I could get my other camera to work.
So there you go. And look, I don't know when, where, time, place, date. There's not much information that I could find on it. And look, that's the issue with a lot of these videos that come out. It's so far in the distance that it could be a bazillion things. It's too hard to tell there. But it got shared a lot, and people were like, oh my God. But I don't know. I see that, and I just think, I don't know. There's clearly other action going on in that area. You can see other lights blinking, other things. He's not pointing any of that out. He's not saying what any of that stuff is. So I don't know. And he's shining a flashlight at it. I don't know. So leave that for you guys to decide on. All right, let's get to some questions and comments. What do we think about, Roswell, Jeremy Corbell's comments, Lou's book coming out, that sort of thing. I do think it's going to have an impact, Lou's book, because there are so many things in this book. Just the preview that came out and the stuff that leaked out of that, there's so much going to be in this book that people are going to share. Now, whether or not you agree or think it's this, that, or the other is fine, but there's going to be so much to talk about, which I'll be honest, I'm happy to discuss it. All right, guys, I'll start with this question here. Patrick, do you believe Skinny Bob is real? I personally do not. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't change my mind with new information. It's impossible to say what they are, no context. I agree. Shout out to all the mods. Let's do that real quick. Here's Hello Allie, who says, put questions in all caps. She is correct. This is when you can use all caps right here for the live streams, guys. So shout out to Hello Allie, Jessica, Heiser, Brookers, Justin, Daniel. Shout out to all the mods and all the hard work they do. So thank you to them. Guys, if you haven't already, Allie and Justin, who are mods here, they have a show. I hope they'll put a link in the chat. Go check it out. They do a weekly, UAP news, sort of catch up on everything, which is way different than what I do. And Please go follow. It's a great watch once a week. Boom, catch up on what's happening. Right. So it's a great show. Please go check it out. Oh, this person. When you going to collab with Stephen Greer? I don't think you understand how Stephen Greer operates. That's not how it works, unfortunately. Dualwick says, what proof does Hal have aside from talking? I have zero clue. I don't know. All right, there's some comments too that I want to share here. So, Patrick, a lot of credible people exposed at the Roswell crash. It means crash was not the original crash. There was a second one, and they used the Roswell one as a cover-up. Okay, a lot of sounds like Trump. A lot of credible people. I can't do a Trump impression, right? A lot of people are saying. There's a lot of people saying. I'm just saying. Guy's a worse Trump impression. I can't do impressions. Period. Except Christopher Walken. I'm gonna need more cowbell. I'm gonna need a little more bell, a little more cowbell. I don't know. That's not good either. All right. This person who has a weird name. We knew you'd end up highlighting the negatives of the video. What? Just highlighting the video. Negative, positive is what you give it. That comes from you. Your interpretation of it. Does that make sense? Brooker says Stephen Greer charges for interviews. Exactly. Brookers is right. And a lot. JetFan95. When are you getting Gary Nolan on the show? I don't know, but I would love to. That is for sure. Gary did unblock us on Twitter a while back. So I think there's a possibility we could get him on for sure. He's just really busy. And I'll keep trying. But yes, that would be pretty epic interview, to be honest with you. So I'm with you. Extreme, a shout out to the mods and great job getting everything together. Yes, absolutely. Patrick, will you be attending any cons in the coming year? I'm sure at some point. I just don't know which one or what, or Vetter will start their own, you know? Guy says, I heard there was 2 separate crashes. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, right? Some people say there's 2 separate, or it was all part of one, meaning it hit, bounced off, hit again, and then those were 2 crashes. So I don't know. Oh, gosh. Okay, here we go. Were any part of that last footage show any vehicle with height obscuring the 2 stationary lights? Not that I saw. But after I do the live stream, I'll put all the links in the description. You guys go check it out and, do your thing. That UFO bro vetted. Why would anyone record the UFO recovery? For example, if we went to recover a downed Russian satellite or fighter, would the recovery team record that? That's a great question. And I agree. I could see why you would want to record, an alien spacecraft. All right. If you're able to keep the spacecraft secret, I'm sure you can keep the footage secret. But I could see why you'd want to record that. I don't know, but definitely a good question. Do you think because it's our right for disclosure is a good idea when everything lead to go against religious science war and the very fabric of our nature? I'm not sure what this question means, but yes, it's our right for disclosure, if I got that right. He says your walking impression was better than your Trump impression. Yeah, I wouldn't even call that a Trump impression. Call it a Trump disservice. It's horrible. Oh gosh, I'm getting behind. My bad. I don't know what this means. Are you guys in speaking terms again? I don't know what you mean. If you mean about Dr. Gary Nolan, we weren't never not on speaking terms. I've never spoken with him. It was just a weird thing that happened where he blocked us. It was just turned out he was just mass blocking, and we got sucked into something, and then he unblocked us. No problem. But no, I've never spoken with him ever. I've never commented on his post or anything. I've never interacted with him online. I don't even interact with anybody really online. Very, very few people. It's all sort of messaging for me and emails, but I've never spoken with him. Patrick, thinking about how many 18-wheelers it takes makes me laugh. Yeah, it's called, I agree. I mean, you got to think about it logistically, right? What is happening here? And what's the weight load? All right, we got a super chat here. Thank you so much, Karsten. Patrick, even with occasional glitches, your stream quality is way better than the SWR Insider live streams that I pay for. What's SW? Oh, Skinwalker Ranch. Okay. Well, good to know. I don't know what they're doing on their live streams, but I appreciate that. Yeah, look, I rely on software and technology. Look, if the aliens can be brought down in their craft with an EMP, then little old Patrick can sometimes be brought down by StreamYard trying to live stream. What are we going to do when you're on break? I don't know. Yeah, everyone will probably just shrivel up and die. I'm just kidding. I'm working hard on making sure that there's going to be videos while I'm out. Okay. If anyone doesn't know, I'm having dental surgery, take care of my missing tooth, and just some other things I need to do with my teeth, right? I'm in my 40s. I've let some stuff go, especially since the pandemic. I haven't really caught up. So I just need to do a whole bunch of stuff and just get it out of the way. Going to have a nice, clean, white smile, getting them whitened, the whole thing. I'm doing a whole bunch. But I want to make sure that there's going to be videos out regardless. Because honestly, I don't know how long I'll be out from that, but I also just want to take a break. If that makes sense. So I might just pre-record some videos like when I took a break in May and have some videos go out. I don't know, or I just may go silent for a week and miss a day or miss a week or whatever. So we'll see. I don't know. But look, there's plenty of other stuff to catch up on. The Discord will be popping. Everyone will still be doing everything. Doing everything. I don't know what that means. There'll be plenty of channels to catch up on. And with Lou Elizondo's book coming out at the end of August, typically August is a slower month. Just people are traveling. It's just in general for everything. So that's probably coming out to go into the fall, right? The book's coming out on the 20th. So Labor Day, the fall, right? So we'll see. Okay. Let me catch up here, y'all. Geezer Prime says that video from the truck was shown on Thomas Fessler's channel quite a while back, supposedly live. It was happening as it was happening. I don't know who that is. Thomas Fessler's channel. What channel is that? Okay, well, there you go. Whoever, look up Thomas Fessler and go see that. That's not where I got it from. So I don't know if this is real or not. Patrick, would you consider looking into the eyewitness testimonies of Roswell, like Jesse Marcel, et cetera? There are a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Look, We have our Phoenix Lights video coming out soon, within a week, like right at the beginning of August or August 1st, somewhere around there. And we already have our next case that we're going to do. But eventually I do want to go over Roswell, and we'll bring it all together because there's some new bits of information. So I'll probably wait maybe till September, October. There's even more stuff coming out about Roswell, not just the quotes from Lou Elizondo's book. Apparently more material has been found. I don't know. We'll be catching up on that. I'll be interviewing Ron James about that in the next couple weeks, right at the beginning of August. So that's going to be exciting. So I spoke to Ron. He's going to come on. We're going to go over the MUFON symposium stuff, but there's also these new revelations about Roswell we're going to talk about. And I'm supposed to take a trip to Roswell here in the next few weeks. I don't know if that's still going to happen, but I'm going to make it happen before the end of the summer or somewhere. Okay, so I am going to do that, but I don't know. People I were going to go with, some things happened, so I don't know. I'll keep y'all updated. But regardless, yes. And look, the stuff with Phoenix Lights that's going to be coming out was awesome. I got the Discord community involved, so I got a couple members of the Discord community together. We did a Discord, I don't even know what you call it, video call or something. And we just talked for 2 hours about Phoenix Lights and uncovered a bunch of cool stuff. It's going to be a great video. It's going to be stuff about Phoenix Lights, I promise, you didn't even know. And it might change your mind on a few things. It's quite interesting. So great way to bring the community together to look into these cases. And pardon me, at the end of that video that we show Phoenix Lights, we're going to announce the next case that we're looking into. So regardless, yes, I would love to make Roswell one of them for sure, to look into that. That would be very cool. Okay. Yes, I did see. Did you see the Kirkpatrick interview from YouTube channel Merrick? The UAP data analysis debate was an interesting segment. Yeah. Again, like I brought up earlier in the live stream, that's out there. So go check it out for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of over those videos and just moving past it. I mean, I don't know. There's not really so much to tell from those videos. Like, what are you going to really get from them? Nothing. Yikes. Okay. Hey, sorry. Okay, I'm getting way behind. My bad, y'all. All right, I don't really see any questions. Oh, here we go. Oh, God. Okay. It's so funny. I see a lot of people in the live chat that have left me the absolute most vile comments. And then I see them asking me questions here in the live chat. I'm sorry. I'm going to just ignore you. I just find that so funny. We Lift the Nation. Does the digital theory interest you the most because you wouldn't have to see them physically? That's interesting. That's interesting. But if you're in the digital realm, it would seem physical, But no, the reason I find that theory the most interesting is because, again, I'm an idiot. I'm an ex-chef. I don't know anything. But in my mind, it just seems like if you were to infer, just based our own advanced technology, that we will eventually get to that point. And why wouldn't you? Why try to get the biological body to live forever when you can just become digital and literally live forever? So I don't know. But again, that's what interests me the most. Just it seems logical that it would go there. But again, I don't know. But no, I want to see him physically too in this world. Sarkis says, "Hey Patrick, do you work on Vetted alone or you have a team?" That's complicated. I basically work alone, in the sense that I decide all the videos, I edit all the stuff, I put out all the videos, I record it all myself, I post everything myself. I do the live stream or the Patreon live stream once a week myself, right? A lot of stuff, basically do it all myself. Now, where I do get help is I am produced by a production company, in the sense that they pay for this show to go out, right? And it's on our website, vetted.show. You can find it at the very bottom. It's called Soho Podcasts. Develop other podcasts too. It's based out of London. I've been working with them 5 years. They help produce my other podcast too, Lone Star Plate, before this, but they don't really help. They don't really do anything. At one time they did, but I've gotten so good at doing this, I don't really need, much help. And then the mods clearly help, with that, but they don't have anything to do with the content or record or putting anything out or anything, right? They show up for the live streams and the videos and in the Discord and help out a lot there, right? So I get a lot of help when it comes to moderation, clearly. And Daniel Clancy, he did set up our Discord server, which I did not do. And I paid him a small fee. I wish it could have been more to create that Discord server. So that's where I have help. And then I also signed a deal with Christian Harloff's sort of talent management or something along those lines. It's called Digital Fox Talent, and I'm still working on getting more sponsors for the show and that sort of thing to help, get money for the show. This is my full-time job, so I need to bring in revenue to keep this going. I mean, I'm just being transparent. Like, I'm an ex-chef. I come from owning my own food business. I look at it as a simple transaction between me and you watching. I provide something, you either take it or don't, right? It's that simple. Same thing when I did food. I served a plate of food. You either liked it or you didn't. Be paid for it, right? I get money that way. So with this, it's a little different. You get sponsors, you get that sort of thing. So I am working with them. They don't really help, if that makes sense. They're helping on that end, right? Get me sponsorships, that sort of thing. And they're also helping get Vetted on Spotify, all the audio only formats. And that should be happening within a week or two. That'll be finalized and it'll be up on all the different non-audio formats. We were doing that originally, but we had to stop it back in May and do a bunch of stuff to get it, back on the platforms and get it set up right. Because we're going to be monetizing that as well, getting ads in it or whatever. I don't know. Honestly, they're taking care of that. So that is something I don't have to worry about. And I'm trying to think what else. I reach out, I get all the interviews myself. But and look, y'all help. Y'all help a lot. If I'm being honest, I get ideas from people in the audience, different vetters, and the Discord as well. So in a way, we're all doing this together. Just what percentage of the pie, right? I clearly have the biggest percentage of the pie on what the work I do for this, and making sure a video goes out every day. I'm trying to think what else I forgot. I do have a new sponsor that I am going to be presenting. I was going to do it on today's live stream, but I couldn't get the product ready in time to be able to show it to y'all. But starting tomorrow, that video, I'll be showing a product that I'm going to be endorsing and trying to push. It's like a new thing. I've never done it before. So instead of a typical sponsor where you see on a YouTube video, right, where somebody's like, oh, this video is sponsored by blah, 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 and they do the thing. It's not like that. It's more, here's the thing. If you buy it, I get a cut of it. So because my views and subscriber count aren't up there just yet to get those kind of sponsors. All right. So I got to keep growing the channel a little bit more to bring that revenue in. And look, that's just being honest, transparency. Like, I have to make money to keep this going. It's not free. I can't put in all this work for free. I got to pay bills. All right. I'm not trying to become rich here. I'm just trying to get my bills paid. It's that simple. So yeah, Hope that answered your question. That was a long question, but I want to be transparent about that stuff. How the show, where it comes from, why I'm here, what I need to keep the show going, you know. But people watching the videos is the best help I can get, and that's free. Just watching the videos helps a lot. It really does. Now, this product that I'm going to push tomorrow, that will help a lot too if people want to support. But that's just for the few that want to, really, really support me and what I'm doing, because it keeps me going. Otherwise, if it did start to go off, I would have to stop doing it. There's like a lot of people in this that have to stop doing, Do I give you the value for what you're getting? That's up to you to decide. All right, I hope that answered your question. That was a lot. Catkins, how do you know the size of craft and weight to be determining the amount of trucks you would need to move it? Well, that's a good point. How do you know how much the craft weighs when you show up ready to retrieve this craft? And 18-wheelers are slow. What if it's in the middle of God knows where? You got 18-wheelers coming out there? Like, how long does that take to get out to that crash retrieval? This seems like the worst way to do it. Why wouldn't they use some choppers? Some helicopters to go out and do this. I mean, that's a good point. How do you know what kind of 18-wheelers to take out? You're not going to know what the craft weighs. I wonder if they've had to abandon crash retrievals because they just couldn't get it out. And what would you do in that instance? Would you bury it? Would you destroy it? Would you, that's an interesting question, to be honest with you. I like it. Yeah, it gets me thinking there. Right? All of that. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Do you think we need someone not associated with Hal Putoff, Lou Knapp? Do you think we need someone from a more technical background? I mean, you got Gary Nolan, lots of different scientists that are involved with this. So, it seems like you need people from all walks of life. Jessica, off topic, but relative to the chat today, if you want a great Trump impersonation, check out Shane Gillis. He's got your beat 1000%. That is true. Everyone has me beat with the Trump impression. His Trump impression is pretty great. Have you tried to get Mr. Knapp and Corbell to give you an interview? Yes, they have not responded. Although Jeremy has said he likes Vetted and supports the show, but no, they have not responded to my request. So I have reached out a request. Terrence says, Patrick, can you please have your friend Clint from Night Shift on to discuss all this? You rock, brother. Yeah, Clint was supposed to reach out. He never did. I had sent him a message. We connected. He's supposed to reach out, and I haven't heard back. So, I mean, I can't just chase people down, basically. You know what I mean? At that point, I tried to get him on, and I just never heard back. So I'll just wait to hear from him. Mr. Hank, did anyone find out where Diana Pasolka went to get the UAP materials in the desert? She mentioned it was on an X-Files episode. Should be easy to find out. Yes, we've covered that on the channel. I don't have the links here with me, but if you search Tim Taylor and Vetted through my videos, you'll find a lot of this information. Why are we typing in caps? Just put your questions in caps. Here's an idea, Patrick. Create a bunch of shorts for the days that you're out. That way you don't miss a day. Yeah, that's an interesting idea, actually. Just do shorts those days. Look, I'm going to look in to see if it's not too difficult to pre-record some videos. I mean, I don't record every single day. I have a video go out every day, but I take the weekends for the most part for my time. You got to balance yourself or you'll burn out. So I make sure that I balance myself so I don't burn out on this. I feel just as good as when I started doing the daily videos. I'm coming up on 1 year over Labor Day. It would be kind of sad to not make my 1 year anniversary of not missing a day. Even though I was doing videos before that, I wasn't as strict with the every single day until Labor Day. And from that day, I've not missed a day. So it would be kind of sad to not make that. That's honestly what I keep thinking about. At least make the 1 year anniversary. But the shorts is an interesting idea. So great suggestion, Jim. Instagram. I don't know what that means. No, I'm not. I have an account on Instagram. I think you're talking to me. I'm not sure. But yes, look, that's something else I'm being helped out with. We're going to be the group that I'm working with. They're going to be putting my content on Snapchat. They started a Snapchat account, and they're going to be doing all of it. I'm not doing any of it. They're going to be putting our content, Vetted's content, on Snapchat. Apparently, TikTok just not worth it. Just like you don't get nothing from TikTok, like unless you're just whatever. So it's got very inflated, So Snapchat's where it's at. Apparently, I don't know. That's what I was told. And then Facebook, that's still popping apparently. And actually, my stuff gets shared quite a bit on Facebook. But anyway, Instagram might be a minute. Oh my gosh, I have been missing these super chats. So sorry. DIY Camo Guy, are you going to have Luis Elizondo on? I hope so, man. I really hope so. I've covered Lou a lot. He has me blocked on Twitter. I don't know why. Again, I don't interact with him. I've never commented. I've never trolled. I don't do anything like that. I don't bother people on Twitter. I don't do that. I don't go in your post and comment and leave something stupid. I don't do that. So hopefully we will. I mean, I had Danny on a couple of times. I've had a lot of people on. I would hope that he would come on and see the value in coming on the show to promote his book. But at the end of the day, he doesn't need me, right? So we'll see. Either way, I could cover all of it. No problem. He's going to do a lot of interviews, so hopefully we will be able to get him on. Look, the best way is to keep mentioning it to him. Vetted. Don't forget about Vetted, man. Would love to see you on Vetted, right? Because then it's not about me. It's about the audience. And that's when everybody comes on. It's not about them talking with me. It's about I can get that interview and then present it to y'all. So, yeah, I hope he does come on. I really do. Would love to talk with him. David Nelms, thank you so much. Taste pretty good. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you, David Nelms. Look at this picture, by the way. I love that. Very cool. What do they call that box? Your username. It's called something, right? Isn't that called something? That type of box. So thank you, David, very, very much. I wish you to put a question or something. I could respond to you. DIY Camo Guy, will you ever have Stephen Greenstreet on? Right, Stephen Greenstreet Reed. I might have Stephen Greenstreet Reed on. I never heard of this guy. I'm just kidding. That's a tough one. Because Stephen has trolled Vetted pretty hard on Twitter, and I had to block him. Just because he was so disruptive. It was like, dude, just get out of here. Go with your own lane. Like, so it's really hard. I don't know how productive the conversation would be. I don't think he's actually looking to have a conversation about it. I think he's just upset and wants to get that out. I'm not really looking for that on here. So until I see that it could be a productive conversation, I'm personally not going to have it. Now, unless there was just such an outcry from the vetted audience that was like, no, we want to hear Stephen Grit, then I would do it. Just like when I had Jon Stewart on. John and I had problems, but the community wanted to have him on, so I brought him on, right? And now we're cool. Got zero problems with Jon Stewart. But Stephen Greenstreet, I don't know. Again, I'll never say never, but I do have him blocked on Twitter, and he's the most public figure I have blocked on Twitter. Because I block a lot of trolls on Twitter, but like public figures, he's it. I mean, I just don't block people, right, that have a voice in this field. I might mute them, but blocking is one thing. But Stephen just wouldn't leave me alone on there. Right? Again, he's not really looking for a conversation, legit conversation. I just don't see the point of trolling. You're a grown man. Think about that. You're a grown man, an adult, and you're gonna troll like a 12-year-old online. I blows my mind. Blows my mind. If Stephen Greenstreet worked in a kitchen with me, that guy would be cleaning out the goddamn fryers every day, all day, cleaning out the walk-in. I'd have that motherfucker, prepping 100 pounds of onions, everything, cleaning the line, sweeping the line, mopping, that kind of attitude, that's I always try to imagine someone that I have an issue with, like, how would they work in a restaurant with me? And if I can't imagine them working well, like, I lose a little respect. I'm not going to lie, because, you get to see who somebody really is in the kitchen, and just in general working like that. I can't trust that guy. DIY Camo guy says, "What's up with David Grush?" Great question. Avi Loeb spoke to him, right? I made that video. David Grush doesn't want to be the Ed Snowden of this. And I think people are wanting a lot from David Grush, but I get a sense that David Grush doesn't want this. He doesn't want that attention. He doesn't want this. So he's going to be working behind the scenes. Supposedly his op-ed is still coming out. But you're right. I don't know what's up with David Grush. More importantly, what's up with David Grush's investigation? Because that is what we should be most focused on, is the investigation that he left behind. The names of the witnesses, the locations, right, of the craft and bodies and all this stuff. That's what we should be focused on. And I still don't want to let that go. Like, what is happening with that? Because that seems the most promising to me. But who knows? Oh gosh, I'm way behind on chat, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Yowzers. What? Patrick equal grifter? Yeah. Some of you guys. Again, this person is probably a grown man. I got no room for that. If you think I'm a grifter, why are you here? Are you here to say I'm a grifter? Because then what does that make you? Define grifter. Again, I'm blown away by some of these comments. So weird. Adults are so weird sometimes. Grown men especially are absolutely blow my mind. Here we go, Jacob. Patrick, the homie. That's what I'm talking about. There you go, Jacob. That's right. Boom. Hey, I like this. Okay, we're going here. Best UFO channel on YouTube. I don't know about that. I appreciate that, but there are far better YouTube channels than mine. But thank you. Patrick is incredulous. Great spelling, logical. It's inside baseball. Love that joke still to this day. Yeah, some people just don't grow up. I agree, man. It's just so weird. Come here to shout grifter is pretty cringe, really. I agree. All right. Who cares about all that guy? I'm here for your smile. Well, with one missing tooth, it's not that good. Smile. Hello, guys. I cannot wait to get this tooth. Honestly, my wife and I laugh about it all the time. She's constantly ripping me about it. So I'm so weird. Like, I could care less about my physical appearance. So I've just been so busy with family and work and all this other stuff. I just put it off. Plus, my dentist is only open 2 goddamn days a week, for Christ's sake. be a dentist if you want to be rich. Those guys work nothing. They work nothing and make a ton of money. And on top of that, the couple days they're open, they're only open like 5 hours. It's insane. Appointments are like set so far in advance. I mean, it's ridiculous. All right, guys, I'm going to be ending the stream here in like 10 minutes. So just giving you guys a heads up at 1:30 p.m. What's up with the scalar technology? I don't know anything about that. You guys don't want me commenting on that. It will be the equivalent of my Trump impression. Not good. Master Jedi Dude, do you believe that the Roswell crash and other incidents were arranged to give us technology? Possibly. People say that. That's a good point. People claim it to be a donation site, right? You've heard that. They're not called crash sites, they're called donation sites. So it's possible. This and Y-Files, favorite channels. Dude, Y-Files is awesome. Love Y-Files. In fact, it's been a minute since I emailed AJ, and I'm going to email him and see what's up. Community says, Patrick, what's your favorite UFO footage? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's a really good question, actually. I have to think about that. What's y'all's? What's yours, community? Amy. Oh, gosh, I hope I'm saying that right. Patrick, you do a great job researching and breaking down UAP news. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't always get it right, but I'm here every day. Oh, yeah. This guy right here. This guy talks about sardines, coffee, and cheese, and now he wants to ask me what my favorite Bone Thugs and Harmony member is. And he claims to be a physician in South Florida. I highly doubt that. Oh, gosh, guys. Hang on. I got someone at my door. Hang on 1 second. Be right back, y'all. Y'all got to... Okay, I'm back. Got a package. Even though I have a sign on the door that says, do not knock. There you go. All these people killing each other, hating each other. How can we make this better by adding disclosure? It might make it worse. And maybe this is why a lot of people don't want disclosure. Sure. 100%. All right, guys, just a few more minutes. Thank you guys just for hanging out, watching. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everyone sticking around after I had the mishap with the audio and everything at the beginning. Thank you all for sticking around for that. And I want to give another shout out to David Nelms. Thank you so much. I'm not asking everyone to donate a bunch of money and this, that. I get times are tough. I got my own issues, right? But anyone that can and does, I greatly appreciate it because this is not free to do. So I do greatly appreciate it. And there's been a loss of money investing in this. So we're trying to recoup that, right? And get into this. So I do greatly appreciate it. But in no way is it necessary. Oh man. Yeah, great. Well, some of you probably going to be excited for tomorrow. To be honest with you, for the product I'm going to show, I got a saber basically that I'm going to be presenting, and then having, if people want to buy them, they can, and they are legit. Okay, I'm talking like from Star Wars, right? Like a saber from Star Wars. Um, it's probably one of the coolest things I've ever gotten like that. It feels like a real saber. I can't say the other word because it's like copyrighted. That's true. I don't know. That's what I was told. So I have to call that. But yes, I'll be showing you guys tomorrow. We'll be going over that. I have a special link, all that. But it is pretty legit, I got to admit. So some of you guys, if you're into Star Wars or into that, you're going to love this stuff. It's crazy. And look, I wouldn't present anything I don't believe in myself and don't support myself. That's something you can take to the bank. I will never present a product or something to you guys I wouldn't use myself. I have to believe in it. Otherwise, I can't lie. I can't pretend. I'm so bad at that. I wear my emotions right here. Like, it's just how I am. So I can't pretend. I'm really bad at that. I can't pretend around people I don't like. I can't pretend about something I don't like. I just can't pretend. Like, I'm not a good actor. I tried acting. I'm horrible at it. I can't be anybody but myself. You heard my Trump impression. Kate says, Gary Nolan said disclosure already happened. I mean, look, it's how you define disclosure and what part of disclosure. Some people have had a personal experience. They go, yeah, disclosure happened for me, 1967, just outside of St. Louis, when I was on a pickup truck heading out to the woods, and whatever, right? Whatever the story is. Jet Fan says, would aliens be expected to pay taxes if we accepted them? That's actually a pretty fair question. If we're just breaking down, what are the questions after? Let's assume we have disclosure. They're part of society. Now what? Do we ask them to pay taxes? Would they have money? How do they earn money? Where's that coming from? I don't know. DIY Camo Guy, thank you for all the super chats today, DIY Camo Guy. Really, I mean that. Have you seen the Jimmy Church 2006 podcast with Tom DeLonge? And it makes it easy to pick the questions. Anyway, super chat. That's honestly why I like it, because it just makes it easy to pop that question out. But anyway, probably at some point I've probably seen those. That's interesting. 2016. So you're saying before that article came out, the New York Times article. I don't know. I have to revisit that. I'm not entirely sure. Ooh. God damn it. That's funny. I don't want to put that up, but that's funny. Bone Thugs and Sardines. God damn it. That is funny. A saber. Yes. Like I can't say the word, the saber of light. I think I can say that. Saber of light from Star Wars, those things. Price range, they go anywhere from like 100 to thousands. But again, I'll show you guys tomorrow. I'll have a special link. It's legit. Look, hang on. You know what? I was going to show you guys, but it's not ready to show. I don't want to just show some half-ass thing. It's badass. I got to pick the one I wanted, and it is badass. I'm not really into, like comic books and toys and stuff. But this thing is pretty awesome. All right. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm missing some stuff here. Okay, guys, I got 2 minutes. Has there been any stories of aliens using guns like in the movies? I can't recall any stories where a weapon like that was seen or used. That's interesting. I know we've shot at them with our guns, but the aliens using guns? That's a good question. Like lasers or something, like what would they use, right? Like, wow, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Someone would have to find that. Yeah, because I don't know if I've heard that before, honestly. That's a good question, Jeff Fan. The neighbors' boys battle across the street on Friday nights with light. Oh, with sabers of light. Yes. Yeah. Again, this is legit. It lights up. It got sounds. It when you know, it does everything. Like it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was just like, this is not real. If I would have had it when I was a kid, forget about it. Forget about it. Okay. All right, guys, we got just, a minute here. Let me pick one last question. Good question from Terrence here. Let's go with this. Terrence Wills. Thank you, Terrence, for all the support, man. When is vetted hitting the road and rocking out from different sites? I agree. That would be really cool to do. I'm not going to lie, but it's a balance. Road trips cost a lot of money, and the equipment you need to properly capture what you need and set it up and whatever. But we'll see. We'll see how this all goes. Again, the first one I'm trying to do is Roswell. But yeah, I mean, look, yes, it would be cool. So we'll see. It's a great question. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you to everyone, honestly, for just hanging out, coming. It was a lot of fun. I'll put links in the description for everything. And we'll just kind of keep our eye out on Roswell and what's happening with that. And Lou's book, more information is going to come out. So again, I've got some great interviews coming up, y'all. It's going to be great. I got to be honest. There's some great stuff coming up. A couple I can talk about and a couple that I can't just yet. So you know about Ron James coming out next week. That'll happen next week or the week after, in August sometime. First week of August, somewhere in there, before my break. And then I got Steve Bassett coming back on again, so we can finish up our conversation. That's going to happen sometime next week, I believe, or the week after that. And then there's a few more things I'm working on. So some great interviews, some great people. That's it. So thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate the mods. Thank you guys for showing up and hanging out. It was awesome. Love doing this. So I will see you guys on tomorrow's video. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. If you want, please go to the Discord server and hang out there. Have at it. All right. I think I'm going to go there right now to the Discord server. If you want to hang out a little bit more, I'm going to go hang out in the open mic for a little bit and chat. So please head over to the Discord. We'll put a link. There's a link in the description, but I'm sure, yeah, Heiser just put a link here. Go check it out and hang out with me. It's free to join. If you haven't already, go join. It's awesome. Just wait till you get in there. The conversations are great. The people are great. It's amazing. So thank you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. For the rest of you, I'll see you in Discord. All right. Remember, every day is a gift, y'all. Peace.